Hello everybody, and welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube, where I talk about all things luxury, be it luxury travel, luxury fashion, or life's luxuries in general. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 categories of luxury items I will no longer be buying, and items that I just don't think are worth the money. I have done this type of video, I think once or twice before. It's a popular tag that goes around every couple of years, and for me, these are just items that I do not see the value in adding any more or in buying it to begin with. That being said, I will be perfectly honest with you guys if I own them myself, or if I'm thinking about adding them despite the fact that they aren't worth the money. So to start out with, luxury drink holders. So I am talking about the branded coffee cups, like for instance there's a YSL one. I am talking about the teacups like you see from Hermes or from Dior. I'm talking about the Tiffany & Co. bone china, the collections they have that look like paper cups. And those things are so expensive and they are definitely not worth the money. I know like with the YSL one, the lid that is on it, supposedly like it leaks. So, you know, that stinks. And in all honesty, because they're so expensive, I would never use them. And I say that coming from someone who I do have a set. I have the Tiffany & Co., the paper cup style, I think they're called the coffee cups in the New York toile. And I've never used them as drinks. They are solely for decor purposes. Because I am scared to death of staining them. I'm scared to death of staining them with my lipstick. I'm scared to death of staining them with whatever beverage I happen to want to be drinking from it. I'm scared to death I'm somehow going to drop it while I'm drinking liquid. I'm scared that I'm going to pour something in it that's too hot and it'll crack. I'm scared that while I'm washing it by hand, it would crack. I would definitely never think of dreaming of putting them into the dishwasher. So they should stay as lovely decoration on my bookshelf in my office. They're never going to be used. I do love having them because they are super pretty decor, but I have so many things sitting around my house that all the times I continually debate adding one from, like for instance, the Versace ones with the really pretty V's on them, or the ones from Hermes because Birkin bait, and I do want a Birkin one day. I can't bring myself to do it. They're just too expensive to have sitting around as a decor item in my home that has a function that I will never use. It's one thing to like buy art to hang on the wall and to be art, because for me that's fulfilling its function. It's another thing to buy a cup that can be used as a cup and I'm too scared to use, so it just sits there. To me, that's just going to be a waste of money. If you are someone who you are actually going to use it, I think that buying one of these could definitely be a super fun bougie luxury. Even so, let's be honest, 250 bucks for a cup, 350 bucks for a cup, not worth it. It's definitely not worth it, but if it's worth it to you, like, go and enjoy it and drink it, but don't make a mistake of buying one just to rack up purchases at Hermes, or buying them just to have sitting around your house, because like, even as much as I love looking at my Tiffany cups, and I'm so glad that I have them and that my mom got them for me, I do have to admit that like, it is kind of a waste of money because I just leave them sitting there. Even as someone who loves it, I do recognize the fact that it was a very lavish decoration that I definitely could have spent on something more useful or larger or more usable, and that works a lot better with my decor instead of just being, ooh, pretty blue Tiffany. Luxury scarves. Number 2, luxury scarves. Again, you might be saying, Victoria, don't you have some luxury scarves? And I do. I have my Givenchy one that is a winter scarf that I wear in the winter. Same thing with Burberry. I am specifically talking about like the silk, the light weather scarves, the ones that are not meant to keep you warm. If you are getting a scarf to keep you warm, like, those are great options. But just to be pretty, I don't really wear them. I have an Hermes shawl that we got on my honeymoon that is super pretty, but I really don't ever wear. I don't go into the office, so When I was going to the office, I did use it a couple of times as a wrap. But I really should have gone with a different color. I should have gone with the solid instead of the pattern, because the pattern made it harder to match. It also made it less professional for me. I have a silk 100 centimeter, 90 centimeter, or whatever it is, scarf from Hermes. The way in which I style that, because I have too large of a chest to wear it as a top and go backless with it, I never style it in the spring or in the summer or in the fall, because it is too hot where I live and I would get sweat all over it. And it would make me sweaty, and I don't want to be sweaty just to wear a scarf. So that one, as gorgeous and as stunning as that is, and as beautiful as I still find it, it's not ever worn because it's not really practical to style. I have some Twillies. I do wear my Twillies. I do think that those Twillies are nice, and they're versatile, and I use them in different ways. But the scarves, even as someone who knows that I don't use my Hermes scarf, I keep looking at ones from YSL like, oh, that would be great. And it's like, yeah, but even if this wasn't a solid color, I probably wouldn't wear it for the same reasons I don't wear my Hermes one. I don't have a use for it. For the shawls, for other silk scarves that are all bright and fun and pretty. It's like, well, yeah, they're bright and they're fun and they're pretty, but when I would wear bright, fun colors, it's too hot. So for me, that's another item that you will not see being added into my collection. And it's an item that I think you should be really thoughtful about getting. So many of us on YouTube have gone through and sold off our luxury scarves, because we all admit, like, we don't really wear them. We don't really use them. A lot of them get picked really easily. They aren't durable. So really think long and hard before you get one of these on if it's actually going to be useful for you or not. And think about the ways in which you would style it, and if you actually want to wear it based on how you'd style it when you'd be styling it that way. Just sort of think that through. I'm not going to get rid of mine because, like, I definitely wouldn't get what we paid for them, and they were gone for, like, special occasions, but I definitely don't think I'll be getting any more. Now, number 3, finally something that I do not have and that I will not get, is luxury hair accessories. I'm talking about things like hair clips, things like scrunchies. I mean, like, these scrunchies will be like $200, $300, $400, $500, $600. These hair clips will be like $400, $500, $600, $700. Headbands, I've seen these headbands go for like over $1,000 for a headband. And, like, let's be honest, headbands are not comfortable on the head. They will give you a headache. I've never met anyone who wears a headband and is like, yeah, it doesn't give me a headache. Everyone gets headaches from headbands. No matter how much we think we don't. No matter how much we try to convince ourselves that this one's going to work, they don't. Your head's being squeezed. I am not including hats in this. To me, hats are their own category. Yeah, but luxury, like, hair accessories, like you're using just to, like, pin your hair or style your hair, they aren't worth it. Like, they're so expensive and you're really not getting anything for it. I think the one exception to this might be if I were to go to Chanel in Paris, I could see myself maybe picking up a hair accessory there just to say that I purchased something from the flagship Chanel. And because Paris, it's gonna be less expensive than it is here. But honestly, even that I think is a stretch, because I think that my husband would be like, you have got to have lost your mind to be spending 300 euros on a scrunchie, on a hair clip. And he would be right. If you really love it, I mean, that's up to you to spend your money, but you're spending a whole lot for not a whole lot of good. And for something that's super, super, super cheap for them to produce. Like, the markup on those things is insane. You are really, truly just kind of getting sucked into the luxury name, the luxury label there. And if you recognize that and you're okay with that, totally fine. Like, for me, getting my YSL ball cap, I knew that it was a regular for my sports team, same exact ball cap, 30 bucks. My husband paid, I think it was like 275 bucks for my ball cap, but I was okay with that because I wanted that logoed ball cap specifically. If you're having the same thing with the hair accessory, that is up to you, but you need to go into it understanding and accepting that. And following on the heels of that, luxury hair accessories, luxury costume jewelry. Like, this stuff is brass. It's not real. The pearls are not real. The stones on them are not real. They are so marked up. You could literally sometimes go to your local jeweler and buy a regular pair of whatever it is that you're looking at, like of actual real material. It wouldn't have the branding, but if you're looking for like a gold stud earring, you can get that cheaper at your regular jeweler than you would be paying to Chanel or Dior or Louis Vuitton for their fake ones. Don't get sucked in to costume jewelry. Like, you are really just paying for the name. As much as I love YSL, the prices that they put on their jewelry is ridiculous, because honestly, most of these costume jewelries look like things that you could pick up for 30 bucks at TJ Maxx. Like, just get the TJ Maxx version. Go to a local, like, cutesy boutique and get the little boutique version that, again, is like 30 bucks. Don't get sucked in on the luxury stuff with this. I wanted a pair of Chanel earrings for so long, and my mom at one point wanted a pair of Chanel earrings, and so my dad got her one, and she tried it on and she realized that, like, you know what, like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so we ended up selling them on because they were not what we were really hoping that they were going to be. So understanding that and knowing that, even more so than luxury hair accessories, the luxury costume jewelry is so offensive. I can't think of any reason under the sun that I would buy luxury costume jewelry. And then finally, number 5 is not something that I don't think you should buy. It's something that I don't think you should buy multiples of. So for instance, you will not see me buying any more small leather goods unless my small leather goods wear out. I have a passport holder from Mulberry. I have a checkbook cover from Louis Vuitton. I have a Louis Vuitton small compact wallet. I have my YSL card holder. And then I have my Hermes Calvi and my Hermes Bastia. So I have 6 small leather goods, but they're all different small leather goods. And they each serve their own purpose. I won't sell my wallet just because, like, I won't really get much for it. It's not worth it to me to sell it on, even though I don't use it anymore. The checkbook holder and the passport holder are both kind of vanity things. I definitely could have gone with just regulars of both of those. But I wanted to upgrade them, so I did, and they were both gifts. The luxury card holder is super useful. That is what I use every day. I don't use a wallet anymore. And so eventually, from use, that one will one day wear out, and I will replace it at that point. But I don't need to have 5 different ones. Because in all honesty, like, switching from bags daily is enough work that, like, sometimes I'm just like, I'll just go with the bag I have. It's not worth it to change. I'm definitely not gonna be changing out my wallet or my card holder. Like, that's way too much wasted time and wasted energy. You don't need to get a different card holder for every single season. You don't need to get a different, oh, well, I really like this collection. I want a small piece, so let me just buy the card holder. Because over time, what you're doing is that you're using up money that could be used on other things that you don't have in your collection. Maybe upgrading to a luxury belt or a luxury pair of shoes. Maybe getting that luxury ready-to-wear piece. Getting a bag. There's so many other things that those small little items add up to that, while I know it can be really tempting to want to be like, oh, well, I love that color, so let me just get the small leather good in it. That's not a particularly smart use of your money. I know there are people like Meredith who, she collects them and she is a true collector. So I get why she does it, because she's collecting all of these different collections because she is a collector. But I know people like Lisa from Luxury and Life in the Middle are realizing, like, I was impulse buying and this probably wasn't the best use of my money. And she's talked about that on her channel in several different videos. So I can understand maybe having one backup of something, but in all honesty, you just need like one of each type of leather good. My Bastia serves a very specific function in my bag. My Calvi serves a very specific function in my bag. My card holder serves a very specific function in my bag. And no other good, even if it wasn't luxury, I would still be using 3 separate goods for those. So for me, having 3 separate luxury leather goods that are each unique and each serve their own function perfectly works really well, but I don't need to have multiple Calvis. I don't need to have multiple Bastias. and I think it can be really tempting to get those. But if you hold on to your coinage, you can get so much more luxury stuff that you'll really truly get to use and enjoy. So there is my list of 5 items that you will not see me adding to my collection, and I think that you should look long and hard about before adding it to yours as well. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye!